In 2024, the United States started a big dream, a computer so advanced that people called it the future engine. It was supposed to work before 2025, but the entire project collapsed before it could even start, and the loss was huge, $237 billion. This is the simple story of how it happened. The project didn't begin with money. It didn't begin with politics. It didn't begin with pressure. It began with belief. In early 2022, a small team of elite American engineers, some from MIT, some from NASA, some from private labs, came together with a single vision: build a supercomputer capable of solving problems decades ahead of current technology. Not just a tool, not just a machine, but a mind, an engine of discovery. They believed this single system could discover new medicines in weeks instead of years, predict global weather patterns with near-perfect accuracy, support deep space missions with real-time modeling, solve complex scientific equations no existing supercomputer could handle, create AI systems more stable and powerful than anything known at the time. It sounded impossible, but that's exactly why they wanted to build it. The project proposal called it NovaMind, the new mind. The early plans looked clean, elegant, and beautifully structured. Cutting-edge chips, advanced cooling systems, hybrid AI processors, miles of fiber optic networks, and a software layer so complex that only a few people in the world fully understood it. In theory, it could have worked, but theory is safe. Reality isn't. By mid-2023, the cracks began to appear. At first, they were small, so small that no one saw them as dangerous. The computer chips were heating slightly more than projections. Nothing dramatic, nothing alarming, just a few degrees above expected thresholds. Something that could be adjusted. The cooling system design looked fine on paper, but real-world testing showed tiny micro-leaks. Again, not a tragedy, just a fix. The software, it kept crashing during load tests. But that was also okay. Software crashes during development are normal. Everything seemed fixable, except every time a fix was made, something else went wrong. A patch to stabilize software slowed down performance. A reinforced cooling pipe redirected heat into another section. Heat fixes increased power draw. Power adjustments destabilized the AI layer. It became a cycle, an endless loop of solving one problem while awakening to more. Budget meetings grew tense. Deadlines changed. Expectations shrank. Hopes remained intact, but fragile. The original $50 billion budget, already enormous, quietly ballooned past $140 billion. Journalists started asking questions. Investors grew nervous. The government oversight panel scheduled meetings more frequently, but the team still believed. Every engineer felt they were inches away from success. If they just had more time, more space, more effort, NovaMind could still become the breakthrough they had imagined. But time was the one thing they would not get. 2024 wasn't a normal year. It became the year of pressure, the year where belief transformed into stress. Everyone wanted results. Politicians, companies, the scientific community, even the engineers themselves. The world was chasing breakthroughs in AI medicine and climate technology. Everyone needed something that could push forward into the future, and NovaMind seemed like that future. So the team did something dangerous. They rushed. Workdays turned into nights. Nights turned into sleepless cycles. Coffee became a food group. People skipped breaks, skipped meals, and skipped time with family. What was supposed to be careful, calculated engineering became a race, a sprint toward 2025, the promised launch year, and rushing always comes at a cost. The cooling pipes redesigned too quickly, warranty tested as thoroughly as they should, VE bin. The power system scaled up under pressure, didn't go through extended burn-in tests. The AI program, rewritten multiple times, became unstable, unpredictable, and fragile. Whispers began circulating inside the building. Some logs weren't lining up. Temperature spikes appeared in the data, then disappeared from the record. Power fluctuation reports were overwritten or delayed. At least 3 engineers requested internal reviews, none of which became public. Nothing illegal, nothing criminal, just suspicious. Like signs of stress, hiding behind layers of ambition. By late 2024, the project had cost $237 billion. Still, they continued. Not because the project was stable, but because they felt they had no choice. December 18, 2024, the day everything changed. A full activation test was scheduled, the first time the entire supercomputer would be run at maximum capacity. They called it Operation Dawn. Inside the control room, over 50 engineers watched monitors that tracked temperature, power draw, cooling fluid pressure, core synchronization, AI boot diagnostics, data lane traffic emergency shutoff triggers. Nothing felt unusual at first. The room was quiet, focused, tense. NovaMind powered on. The lights flickered across the massive structure. The fans roared to life. Thousands of chip clusters synchronized. Data streams began flowing. And for a brief moment, just 4 minutes, the impossible happened. It worked. Everything the team had imagined for 3 years came to life. Graphs aligned, processes stabilized. The AI core began its first calculations. The room felt electric, hopeful, triumphant. But hope is fragile. At 4 minutes and 26 seconds, the first warning appeared: heat increasing beyond expected levels. Then another: power variance detected irregular. Within seconds, cooling, pressure dropping. The AI ping response was delayed, core synchronization wobbling. Hundreds of tiny warnings flashed across the board. And then something strange happened, something the logs still can't fully explain. The cooling data from 3 sensors suddenly disappeared. Not failed, not overloaded, just gone. No reading, no data, no signal. To this day, no one knows whether it was a glitch, a wiring fault, or one more rushed mistake hidden under thousands of pages of testing notes. Then the power system surged, a spike that shouldn't have been possible under the fail-safe design. And at 4 minutes, 41 seconds, NovaMind shut itself down. Not a soft shutdown. Not an emergency shutdown. A total system collapse. Monitors went black. Boards went silent. The AI core froze. Cooling pumps stopped. Everything died. Engineers stared at dark screens. Silence filled the room. And everyone realized the truth. The world's most expensive computer had failed before 2025 even arrived. The shutdown was not dramatic. No explosion, no smoke, no fire. Just a quiet ending. And sometimes quiet endings hurt the most. Investigations followed. Papers were written, reports were compiled. But something was always missing. Logs weren't complete. Certain test files were corrupted. Some timestamps didn't match. One cooling sensor report was never found. No foul play, no sabotage, just unexplainable gaps. The conclusion was simple. The technology was too early. The design needed more time. The project was rushed. The world moved on. The funding stopped. The engineers left. The building was locked, and inside it, NovaMind remained silent, cold, and unfinished. A $237 billion dream turned into a monument of ambition. Today, when you walk through the empty hallways of the building, you see thousands of unused components, miles of fiber cables, stacks of silent processors, cooling towers that never reached full capacity, machine rooms that never hummed with life again. A dream frozen in time. NovaMind didn't fail because people weren't smart enough. It failed because humanity tried to jump too far, too fast, too soon. Big dreams are possible. Breakthroughs are real. Miracles do happen, but only when the world is ready. NovaMind wasn't a mistake. It was a message. A reminder that even the smartest minds cannot outrun time. That pressure can destroy brilliance. That missing warnings, even small ones, can collapse giants. And that ambition, when rushed, becomes a shadow of itself. One day, humanity might build something even greater than NovaMind. Something stable, powerful, and world-changing. But until then, the desert building will stand as a silent witness to the dream that burnt too bright, too early, too fast, and left behind one of the most expensive mysteries in technological history.